The anime begins in a private airport, where representatives of two parties are standing in front of each other. One comes to show some ornaments, and the other accepts them and tells him to meet with their boss. They all go there in cars. An unknown person on a pizza delivery bike is chasing them and suddenly attacking them. He is very professional in his work and kills everyone. After that, he comes behind members of criminal organizations who come to sell their goods. The only two people were left, but due to road separation, they ran from there. But when they reach their destination, they see that Kazuki is already there. This all happens because their driver is a partner of Kazuki. Then they reach a secret place and ask him about his smuggling. They kill him there and go to his daughter, who is ill. In the past, Kazuki stole the data of a girl hideously and went to Rei, who lived with him, and the room was dirty. Kazuki cleansed the place and rebukes his friend for doing so. He gives the girl's data to Q-chan. A girl reaches the airport and comes there to meet her father. Kazuki is busy with his work, and he has to go to every town because it's part of his job. Then he goes on his next mission, where he changes his appearance to catch the smugglers in a building. He is in the disguise of Santa. He is bringing a cake for someone's wife. A small girl comes there and starts eating the cake. She says that she has come there to meet her father. Her mother tells her that her father lives in this building. Kazuki remembers his wife, and then the guards come. They're going to shoot them, but Kazuki's friend saves him. All the guests at the party start making noise to see their fight. He saves the girl and brings her home. Later, he thinks of Miri as she's his daughter. In the morning, the little girl Miri wakes up her father and tells him she wants to go to the bathroom, but he forgets her and then remembers that he brought her last night. Then he makes breakfast, and she makes trouble for him. Rei comes there and Kazuki gives the child to Rei. He tells Miri that Rei has games, but she also destroys many things while playing. Then he reads the letter in which his wife writes that he cheated on him and got a second marriage. So she sent their daughter to him to take care of her. Otherwise, he would have to give her money. He decides to send her back, but he never knows about her mother or where she lives. So he asks Miri. Miri doesn't know anything. She just says she comes there by train and doesn't know the name of that train station. They go to their job, and when they come back, they see a lot of destruction in their apartment. They point out guns and search, but later they see it's still done by their little girl, Miri. Then they eat dinner, and Miri says she misses her mama, but she's making him a fool, so he plays with her. But he starts to focus on his work and talks about their previous mission. Then he gets ready for his next mission, which is to kill a person who lives in a town with a lot of security and leads a criminal organization. When they're going, Miri starts making noise, and they have to let her go with them. Kazuki enters inside, becoming a security checker. He escapes. The guard checks him, and then he enters the security room. He gives them electric shots and says something to make the person afraid, so he comes out of the room. When he returns, Miri also comes and calls him Papa, and the guard comes to know about their plan. She makes their plan fail, and they run from there. They are out of work due to their failure. Miri wakes his father up and starts jumping on him. Then they eat breakfast, and Kazuki plays with him. He says he has to send her back to her mama. He goes on with his work, and after this, they take her to a park, and she plays with sand. Then she goes to a sweet potato shop and wants to buy them. She loves Kazuki very much. Kazuki and Rei talk with each other about Miri's mom, saying that she doesn't deserve to be called mom. They think she's the daughter of their target, whom they killed at the party. They say he doesn't meet with his parents in life. Miri also had some stories but didn't share them with him. Kazuki goes somewhere, and she's sitting on a swing. Security guard asks her where her parents are. She points towards Ryan, and the guard asks if he's his dad, but he denies it. Miri becomes very grieved to hear this. He does this, so she is taken to the police, and they learn about her mom. But Kazuki comes there and says she's his daughter, but she says nothing in reply. Later, he asks her to call him dad in front of others. Then he tells Rei to be like her dad in such a situation. Then at night, Kazuki makes her sleep, but she comes behind him. She wants to sleep there with him. She asks Rei to smile, but he says he does not smile. Kazuki learns about her mother and the next day takes her there. Kazuki hears Miri's mom singing and enters the apartment. He is about to talk with Misaki, but her lover comes there and attacks him, but Kazuki beats him. Then he tells Misaki to take her daughter back, but she refuses. Miri plays with Rie and the police come to her. They are going to take her with them, but Rie comes there and saves her. He goes to Kazuki, who is coming there. Miri tries to do things, but she damages everything. They reach a park and are very tired. Then Kazuki sees a van and a wonderful idea comes to his mind. They reach home and he starts searching for a caretaker, but everyone whom they call refuses. They say they have already had a lot of children. They reach a government office, but there's a huge crowd. They wait for their number. After a long time, their number comes, but the receptionist gives them a lot of paperwork to do. At home, Kazuki becomes tired and throws the papers, but Miri comes and says she has to go to take care. Kazuki says he finally has to cheat to solve the matter. Then they reach a fake casting center, and the woman asks them if they both are her father, and they say yes, staring at each other. Miri says but Kazuki Papa is better in the kitchen, and also in the shooting. She starts telling her about their fights and illegal activities. Kazuki tries to stop her, but she started there. Then they have to move from there and head toward the next care center. Kazuki asks her not to say a word in front of them. They have reached the center and the woman takes their interview. Miri is going to say something, but Kazuki handles the situation. She is enrolled and they are happy. At home, they read the policy of the center. They go to a big mall to buy all the necessary things and come back home. They write her name on things. They take her to school, but the children don't play with her there. Miss Anna says that she looks different and her dresses are branded, so others take care that her dresses don't become dirty. They buy some ordinary clothes, and the next day she wears the clothes and everybody plays with her, which she enjoys a lot. Kazuki looks at the expenses, which have become very high. He says they have to decrease them, otherwise they will become poor. They are already jobless, but Rei is playing games with Miri, and they ignore him. Then they go to Kyutaro and beg him for some work, and he gives them some files. When they come back home and start working, they receive a phone call that the care center is going to close for a few days. Unwantedly, they have to pick her up at home, and she makes them crazy. 3 days have passed, and they don't sleep for a while and say they can get help from Kyutaro. The next day, Kazuki is going to Kyoto for help. Miri goes behind him, and Rei is sleeping. Rei enters the cafeteria, and she gets lost there. Then Rei calls Kazuki and tells her that Miri is lost. They both find him in the whole apartment and reach the cafe, amazed to see her with Kyutaro. Then Kyutaro agrees to take care of her, and they can complete their work. They agree with him, and Kazuki asks Miri not to tell this man that he is her father. Kazuki and Rei complete their mission, and Kazuki is a bit worried about Miri if she tells her everything. Miri tells Kyutaro that she likes Risi and Kazuki and doesn't want to return to her parents. They come back and take her with them. She's sleeping and calls them Papa. Kazuki claims that children are very innocent. The next day, they complete the work and take it to Kyoto. Miri gives her presentation about her parents and clings to Kazuki and Rei. Kyutaro warns them to take that girl away from them. He also says that they killed her father, because the life they're living is dangerous. They may cause the loss of a girl's life. Maybe someone comes to take revenge, and they also lose the girl. Kazuki is cleaning the house when he hears the news of child misbehavior, criminal activities, and other things. He decides to teach and take good care of Miri, so she doesn't become a hacker or thief in the future. He goes to receive her, and Miss Anna tells him that she fought with a child and also hit him. They reach home, and she's playing games with Rei, and Kazuki is asking the same question to her again and again. She gets annoyed with him and says it was not her fault. The child Taija teased her. The next day, Kazuki prepares food for her zoo trip, and she goes with Rei but leaves her lunch at home. Kazuki and Rei decide to go after her. Miri is enjoying the trip very much. The student Taiga comes there and teases her. They all go along the way but get lost there. Miri asks them not to worry. She lost in many places but reached her exact location. Then Kazuki and Rei also reached there, saw Taiga with Miri, and became angry. Kazuki realizes that they are lost and finds their team members. She also catches a criminal there. Then she sees a game and says she plays it with her Rei Papa. Kazuki feels jealous because she doesn't mention him in her talk and praises Ryu. This is because she's angry with Kazuki. They also hear the name Tiga and remember that he's the same one who teases her. They both take care of themselves, and even Taigia shares his lunch with Miri. A criminal comes there and starts taking their lunch. The criminal recognizes her and is going to hit her, but Kazuki and Rei come there in rabbit form and save her. Miss Anna also finds them, and she comes back home and hugs Kazuki first. She tells how the two rabbits saved them, and Miss Anna writes in her diary that Miri doesn't fight, even though she's trying to explain. A girl named Karen Chan enters the cafeteria and asks about Kazuki. Kazuki takes Miri home when it's raining, and her umbrella is broken on the way. They reach home and Kazuki asks Rei to give him a towel, but he is busy with his games. Miri throws her train ticket on the floor and starts playing games with Rei. Kazuki cleans the house, washes clothes, and prepares the meal. The next day, he goes to the market to buy something and again does household work. Rei and Miri don't help him and make the house dirty. They don't like food, and Kazuki rebukes them for doing so and goes out of the house. In the morning, Miri wakes Rei and tells him to prepare food. He then does all the work, and Kazuki is sitting in the cafeteria, so they come to know about their responsibilities. Rei brings her to the center in the rain, but she comes to know that it is Sunday. Then the scene shifts to Kazuki, who is sitting with girls and ordering food. Just at night, he's drunk and roaming the streets. He is beaten by someone, including his friends, and Rei is very tired after working all day. Miri wonders if he will leave them there forever. Kazuki is sitting in the trash and blaming himself for everything. Then the girl, Karen-chan, finds him. She is her sister-in-law and she says he's not responsible for her sister's death. Then he remembers the past, when he was fighting with the target and her wife came there and died in the explosion. Then Rei feels that Miri has a fever and calls Kazuki, who takes her to the hospital. Kazuki is sitting in a place where he met his wife for the first time. Karen comes there and tells him to move on in his life. He goes back home and sees Miri has a fever, but is happy to see that Rei is taking good care of her and preparing food for Kazuki. He says he will teach them how to cook. Miri gets ready, and Miri asks him where he's going. Rei says he is going to his home. Then she tells Kazuki about him. He enters his big home, and it's also his agency. Then he talks with his father, who asks him to return to his home. Kazuki and Miri go to the market to buy things and come back home. Kazuki tells Miri about Rei's father. He says that if he agrees with her dad, he will never come back. He says that he's very dangerous and very powerful. Rei's father tells him that he belongs to an assassin family and has noble blood in his veins. He assigns a mission to Rei, which is to kill a traitor. Rei knows the man who has left the organization for his lover. Rei tells Kazuki about it, but he can't hear him due to Miri's noise. Rei talks with the driver, and he says to note his target's last words because he doesn't match his lover's last words. So their fight starts there. He's the one who taught Rei how to use weapons. Miri arranges a party for Rei, but he does not come, and she misses him. Then the scene shifts to Rei, who is fighting with his boss, and the boy says he thinks of him as different from his family, but he seems like a puppet. Rei's family also killed his lover. He does want to kill him, but to save himself, he shoots at him, and he falls from the roof. The driver asks Rei for the last words of the dead, but he doesn't tell him. Then Kazuki comes there and takes him there. He asks about Miri, and Kazuki tells him she missed him the whole day and arranged a party for him. Then they talk, and half-sleepy Miri wishes Rei his birthday, and he smiles. Kazuki says to Rei that he never smiles in his life. A scene of the park is shown where Miri is practicing and Kazuki and Rei are sitting on a bench. Kazuki cheers for her and asks Ai to cheer her on. She becomes happy and again starts practicing. Kazuki says she must win the gold medal. Then they go to Q, and he says he doesn't believe that they worked hard for the field day in her school. They also tell him to go, but he has some work and can't go. Then Kazuki prepares an amazing lunch for her field day, and Rei asks to help him. Ari prepares rice balls for Miri, and she becomes very happy. Then they reach school, where all the parents are very excited, as are Kazuki and Rei. Miri comes on stage for the speech, and Kazuki becomes very happy, and his voice becomes very high. The staff says he should cool down, and Kazuki cheers her on like other parents. When they see the boy Taige with Miri, they become angry, and Rei says he will kill him with his hand. At break time, they eat lunch, and all the parents are amazed to see their awesome lunch. All the children like rice balls made by Rei. Then the match starts again, and Rei first cheers her, but she falls there. She wins the blue medal and Taige wins the gold medal. Rei blames himself for this. Then the next match starts, in which Miri wins the gold medal. As the match ends, and they're going home, Miri becomes very tired and sleeps on Rei's shoulder. Kazuki says to Rei that he helps her very much. Christmas is coming very soon, and Miss Anna is preparing a song for Christmas. She sings and the kids laugh to hear her song. Miri sings a very nice song. Kazuki and Rei go to the market to buy a present for Miri. Then they see Miri's mother Masaki there and are stunned. She comes to take Miri with her, but Kazuki is annoyed at her. Then Miri comes there, and she meets her mother first instead of Kazuki. He becomes a little worried. Then she takes her mother to Kazuki and Rei's home. Kazuki is angry and asks Rei why he let her go home. She becomes emotional and hugs her, then she sleeps. At night, Kazuki asks Misaki why she came back suddenly to take her. She says she had cancer and that her husband left her. She doesn't have more time and wants to spend time with Miri. She also knows about their job, which is very dangerous. The next day, Q tells them she called her mother because it impacts their work. They also don't follow the rules of the organization by taking her with them. They go on a trip and enjoy their last day with Miri very much. Miri shares her ice cream with them and sees other kids' mothers with them. Kazuki says they stole her happiness to separate her from her mom. They become emotional, say it's their last time, and forget it, thinking that it was a beautiful dream. Then they reach out to her mom and give Miri to her. Miri says she will sleep with her mom tonight. She becomes happy and goes to her mom. Kazuki again loves her, and Rei thinks he sees a lot of things due to her. After Miri, they both come to their routine and are feeling very bored. They don't eat their meals well, and Kazuki sits all the time in the park seeing other children. Rei starts smoking, and Kazuki comes there. He says that he will go back to his father, and Kazuki says he sees another little apartment for himself. On the other hand, Miri is very happy with her mom, and she makes good things for her, but their taste changes because she buys food from the market. Then she sings a song that she prepared for Christmas. Rei goes to his father, and he shows him pictures of Miri and Kazuki. He says to stop meeting with them because they're black sheep in his family. He says he will kill them if they don't stay away from him. Rei calls Kazuki to save Miri, and the doorbell rings, and her mother opens the door. The man shoots her and says he has an order to kill both of them. Then Kazuki reaches there and fights with the man. The man shoots Kazuki in the shoulder and runs to hear the police siren. Kazuki then goes to Misaki, who asks him to take care of Miri. She also says that she was selfish, and Q takes Miri there, touches her, and then dies. Q takes Miri and Kazuki to a safe house, and Rei also comes there. He asks about Miri, and Qyu says they are dirty. He thinks that he should stay here, away from them. Their boss doesn't keep an eye on them, but he underestimates him. Then Kazuki admits that he ruined Miri's life. But Rei says he wants to take care of Miri and stays with her. He doesn't do anything for her. They are puppies of the underworld. Rei reminds him that her parents were killed by them, and now they will have to take care of her. Then they tell Q that they left the job and started their life with Miri. Miri wakes up Rei and they prepare breakfast for Kazuki, and he likes it. Then they ask for her present, and she says she already told her mother what she wants. Then they tell Miss Anna that her mother won't come on Christmas, and she's worried that she won't come to hear her song. Kyutaro brings Miri's present. They say if anything happens to them, then give this to her, and he shuts them. They sit in the car and say that if they hide anywhere in the world, the organization hasn't left them. So they are going to finish. Rei says he wears a Santa dress and will go to Miri. Kazuki says he has become very changed due to Miri. Then they reach the agency, and the guards take their weapons. Rei is going, but they stop Kazuki from going inside. Then they both fight and enter the agency by car. The killer fights with them, and Rei says he just wants to talk with his father. Ojino attacks Rei, but Kazuki calls him and runs toward the kitchen. Ojino is the strongest person in the agency. Kazuki kills him and burns the kitchen. Then Rei goes to her father and tells him that he left the organization, but he disagrees and is going to kill him, but Rei shoots at his hand. Then he shoots his hands too. He says he may become the leader, but he learns about family love. On Christmas, Miri sings a song, and Kazuki and Rei come there wearing Santa dresses. After a few years, the situation turned to daughter Daddy from Buddy Daddies. Miri is so young now, and it's her day in high school. She was told about her mother's death, and they left the job of assassinating people 10 years ago, and now live in their new home. She clicked a selfie with her daddies on her first day of high school.